Welcome back to a new video. So this was my training session from Friday, and it ended up being a really nice big Friday. So snatching felt really good today. I was really trying to emphasize the things I was thinking about yesterday. So trying to kind of pull slow off the ground, or at least for like the first inch, and then to do a normal pull, be aggressive under the bar. And it resulted in really good snatches. I snatched well all the way up to 120 without missing, and then missed 125 three times. And they all felt, decently close, but it was honestly more of like a speed thing. I didn't really feel like I was necessarily doing bad reps per se, but it was more like I just didn't have enough speed to do them today, which is better than usual, because usually I feel like I'm doing, bad reps. I just didn't have the speed, which will hopefully get there as, fatigue dissipates if I am doing a peak. But I would like these days, ideally, to be able to get up to 125, but getting up to 120 without missing and having it feel how it did is certainly a really big step in the right direction. If I can be consistent with that, then that's massive in its own right. And of course, you always want to be able to do more weight. Something else I did unique in this session, you saw that I did a lot of reps with 40 kilos. I also stretched a lot. That green band that's behind me, I did a variety of stretches for my shoulder. And I think that helped as well. So I think that's one of the things that's slowing down my shoulder is the just worse mobility, and really, I mean, probably both my shoulders, not even just my left, but as my shoulders, if I stretch them and warm them up better, then they rotate probably just a little bit more effectively. So spending more time warming up, I think, is something I need to implement, especially on these heavy days. Maybe not every single session, but if I am going heavy, then it is certainly important. I never really need to warm up quite as much on clean jerks because I just did a bunch of snatching, so usually means that I'm pretty warm already. But even on here, I decided to do doubles here. Something weird that was happening on the 125 attempts, nothing to do with the actual lift, but when I was at the bottom, like trying to catch it or whatever, I felt a popping sensation in like the middle and right on the outer side in the middle front of my shin. And at first, happened on the second and third rep, or attempt, I should say. And it was odd because the first one I was like, I was probably just my knee wrap just folding over and like making that sensation. Then I adjusted my knee wraps a little bit, and then I did it on the rep after that, which again, it's hard to describe because it wasn't painful. It was kind of like a joint cracking, but there wasn't a joint there. Like there's not like it was my knee or something. So definitely a weird sensation. I'm going to chalk it up that it was probably something to do with my knee wrap, or who knows what, because before I started doing these clean jerks, I took a little while longer than I would have. Well, I took a decent amount of time, but I was waiting to see if my knee would start to hurt, or I would start to have some inflammation or something. And even this morning when I'm recording the next day or early afternoon, I don't have any discomfort, so it probably was just something with the knee wrap or something. I have no idea, but it was a very odd feeling sensation, and just like a knuckle cracking sensation, but just like in the middle of the muscle, which was very confusing. But you saw there, I missed 155 the first time and then made it on the second one. It's getting into a good groove with jerks where I take that breath and wait for 2 oscillations and then just go. I think I just need to get in that habit. I did a really good job of that earlier in the year and kind of got away from that, and it's something that I just need to just always reinforce, because it does feel difficult to do that, but it always allows me to do jerks more consistently and better. Back squats went really well. So you see here with 225, I wasn't as hyped as you'll see here with 240. And it's not so much that my face looks a little bit more hyped or whatever, but I think I got my belt 1 notch tighter on this one, and I really got like locked in on it. And you can see here, looked like I could move a little bit more weight. Probably 245 will be what I try next. I'll have to do 230 as like the last warm up before I attempt it, but I try to save that, and that's why, like, for me, RP doesn't really apply very accurately. Is that the rep before that 225? If you saw that, you'd say like that looked pretty maximal, or it looked like you shouldn't be able to go at 15 kilos from there. But when you lift long enough, you know that if you don't have that extra dial that you've turned your emotions to, or turned your focus to hype yourself up for another lift, then you don't know that you can push up a little bit heavier or be a little bit more aggressive on the next one, and really commit even harder on a heavier one. And so that was a 3 kilo PR. The 237 I did around Thanksgiving was a small PR as well. So next time I would like to try 245. I think that's there. If I had it loaded on the bar, I probably would have been able to do it, which is kind of crazy to, looking at it. But obviously, really productive Friday, and we'll see. It's today should be a normal day of training for the most part. Sunday will be interesting because it's supposed to be a snowstorm, but I don't think it's supposed to be to the night. So it'll be interesting to see if that impacts training on Monday, because I don't even know if there'll be work or anything. It's a professional development day, so no students, so they would probably be more likely to call it off than on a normal day, but I suppose we'll find out. But anywho, made it to this point, I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you all the next one. Peace.